Welcome to West Liberty University's Wellness Center, located in the Academic Sports and Recreation Complex building. Here you will find a safe and friendly atmosphere, clean equipment for all types of training, free weights, machines, and now introducing a new speaker system. Does school have you stressed out? Are you trying to get fit for those warmer days? The Wellness Center has you covered. We are now offering free personal training for West Liberty students. Start the year off the right way at West Liberty University's Wellness Center.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Newsline 14. I'm Aaron Warner.
And I'm DeJuan Jones. Let's see what's happening in national news.
2 shots of the Pfizer vaccine may not be enough to keep people safe. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla claims people may need a 3rd shot of the vaccine within 12 months of being fully vaccinated. Bourla also stated that annual shots may be needed. Pfizer announced that data from its clinical trials showed the vaccine to be highly effective 6 months after the 2nd dose. This data was based on more than 12,000 vaccinated participants, but was collected too soon to examine the effectiveness of the vaccine beyond 6 months. Bourla claims that COVID-19 variants will play a key role in determining what future vaccinations will be needed and that the nation's primary focus at the moment should be vaccinating the U.S. population now to prevent the spread of the virus.
After nearly 20 years, President Biden announces an end to America's longest war. Last Wednesday, President Biden made the announcement that he would be withdrawing all United States troops from Afghanistan by September 11th of this year, the 12th anniversary of the terrorist attack that started this war. Beginning on May 1st, troops will begin to withdraw from Afghanistan, despite some calls for them to stay to help garner peace from within the war-torn country. Foreign troops under NATO command will also begin to leave Afghanistan in coordination with U.S. troops. Critics of the decision worry that without a clear victory over al-Qaeda, not only does it open up Afghanistan for an internal power struggle, but also highlights the failure of the American military strategy. President Biden has said that America will still work to assist Afghanistan from the outside.
China and the U.S. are 2 of the largest carbon emitters in the world and are looking to work together in order to combat climate change. Despite recent disputes dealing with recent events in China, the 2 largest polluters are committed to making the environment a cleaner place by tackling the issues we face with greenhouse gases. Climate change is a serious threat to humanity and needs to be met with urgency to reverse its effects before it is too late. They are looking to cut back on pollution through reducing emissions from coal, oil, gas, and even through limiting emissions via international aviation. With this, they also focused on the need to maximize financing for developing countries in order for these countries to switch to low-carbon, renewable energy. President Biden made claims that tackling climate change was one of his key commitments during his election campaign.
The majority of Americans have expressed a strong desire to end lifetime appointments for U.S. Supreme Court Justice. The National Opinion Poll found that 63% of adults support term and or age limits. 22% stated that they were opposed to any limits given, and the remainder of Americans did not answer. Further poll results stated that 38% support expanding through additional justices and 42% were opposed to that idea. The rest were unsure. Activists and some legal scholars have pushed toward creating judicial reforms. These efforts have only gotten stronger at the political chaos of the last few years. President Joe Biden has formed a bipartisan committee which looks at the pros and cons of adding more justice and other potential court-based reforms. This may be pushed in the right direction for the majority of Americans.
A video has gone viral of a white Army officer accosting and shoving a black man in South Carolina neighborhood. The Army man, 42-year-old Jonathan Pentland, was charged with third-degree assault. The video shows Pentland demanding that a black man leave the neighborhood before threatening him with physical violence. The video does not show what started the conflict. It begins with Pentland asking the black man what he is doing in the area. The black man, whose name has not been released, said he was simply walking. Pentland told the man several times, "You're in the wrong neighborhood," before getting in his face and pushing the man, who almost falls to the ground. Pentland then tells the man that he better start walking right now. If convicted, Pentland faces up to 30 days in jail and a $500 fine.
With one of the largest volcanic eruptions in the Caribbean in history, a humanitarian crisis grows to the south. Beginning earlier this month, the Loso-Free-Air volcano on the island's nation of St. Vincent began to expel clouds of ash and flows of molten lava into the surrounding communities. Residents of the islands have been forced to evacuate from their homes, becoming displaced and without clean water or electricity. Reports from the World Health Organization have said that nearly 20,000 people are affected. The United States has been working with cruise lines to ferry American citizens off of the island. The United Nations have said that their entire island population of 110,000 are going to be without clean water or electricity as the eruption continues. Until the ash cloud clears, air travel is shut down and maritime travel will be limited.
We'll be right back after the break with campus and local news here on Newsline 14.
Sources of stress are everywhere. Stress can make you feel trapped, but there are ways to manage it. Stress is inevitable, but you can learn how to deal with it, how to handle it, and how to respond to it well. Try to get enough sleep, exercise, eat well, get emotional support, breathe, and find ways to calm down.
Welcome back to Newsline 14. Let's see what's happening with campus and local news. The fate of Undo's Upper Ohio Valley Italian Heritage Festival recently swung in the balance over COVID-19 restrictions. However, the local Wheeling Italian Festival emerged victorious with a green light from its board of directors. The board voted during the evening of April 15th in a happier turn of events. The festival will be held from July 23rd through July 25th. The festival's organizers say the food, the music, the bocce will be back. Healthcare rules will be up to West Virginia's Governor Jim Justice. For any new protocols that July may bring, gratitude has been expressed for Undo's Restaurant's president, Nick Sparshane, due to his generous support of the festival. Citizens of the Upper Ohio Valley, get ready to enjoy Wheeling's fabulous Italian festival this summer. Remember to practice COVID-19 safety if attending.
Get ready for a fun weekend of bowling in the Ohio Valley. All you need is a small 2-pound ball and good old sturdy country roads. This upcoming Saturday on April 24th at St. Jude Park, Marshall County will be holding its 10th annual Knights of Columbus Irish Bowling Competition. What is Irish bowling? Well, it's a sport that dates as far back as the 1600s. The objective of the game is to roll a 2-pound steel ball down the road, and wherever the ball lands, that is the starting point for the next player. The team who makes it back to St. Jude Park with the least amount of throws wins the game. Many teams are signed up already, and there's room for more. Registration is $25 per person. The top 2 teams will win a trophy, and there is a $100 prize for the person with the most creative kilt. This event is a huge fundraiser for Knights of Columbus. All contributions will go toward numerous charities. You can register at St. Jude Park at 10 in the morning. Be sure to wear your kilt with pride and enjoy a fun-filled day of Irish bowling.
Although the Easter season just ended, some Wheeling locals already have Mother's Day plans in mind. This year, Mother's Day takes place on May 9th. Gift ideas for Mother's Day can take a while to think up, but one organization in the area has a plan. The Community Foundation for the Ohio Valley has come up with a simple way to give back while also giving a gift. Their executive director, Susie Nelson, says, "We are selling cards for $25 a piece to celebrate each and every mother. The card will wish a happy Mother's Day and explain its impact. The money will be donated to the Women's Giving Circle, an organization that funds grants for women's programs in the Upper Ohio Valley. The price may seem hefty, but it's meant to be thought of as a donation. The deadline is Friday, April 23rd.
Greek Week is coming up next week for Greek Life. Here's Aaron Warner with more on the story. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Every year on Dead Week, Greek Life holds an event called Greek Week, which consists of each fraternity and sorority competing in events to win the Spring Cup at the end of the week.
Greek Week is a big deal for Greek Life because this is a chance for each fraternity and sorority to come out on top and get some recognition on the campus. Each one will have one member run with a fellow Greek Life to run for Spring Fling King and Queen.
So Joey, what is Greek Week?
Yeah, so Greek Week is a week-long competition where all the frats and sororities compete against one another, and there's one winner at the end of each week, or at the end of the 1 week.
So Joey, who decides on who wins Queen and King for Spring Fling?
All right, yeah, so basically everyone can vote on campus, just anyone that goes here can, and then, at the end of the week, they announce the winners.
So, finally, what does the winner get at the end of Greek Week?
Yeah, so basically at the end of Greek Week, the winners, they get a nice big trophy in the shape of a cup and a bunch of bragging rights.
This is a nice way for students in Greek Life to blow off some steam and compete in some fun events to see who is the best. If you have some free time this week, check out one of the flyers hanging in the Union.
Make sure to come to Greek Week next week. I'm Aaron Warner, and this is Newsline 14.
The fate of the Mitchell Power Plant may rest in your hands, Ohio Valley residents. The Mitchell Power Plant was scheduled to be shut down in 2040, but it could be closing a lot sooner. Possible shutdown of the power plant could result in a loss of good-paying jobs. The Public Service Commission has to make the decision, but they are considering your opinions before giving the final say. Some work needs to be done to the power plant, but if the PSC refuses to support this endeavor, then the plant could be shut down as soon as 2028. The PSC will hold a public hearing in Charleston on May 6 to listen to various people's views on the fate of the power plant. If you are unable to attend the meeting, post your comment on the Public Service Commission website at www.psc.state.wv.us. Your voice could save Mitchell Power Plant.
After a year of no play productions due to the pandemic, the WLU Theater is back in action this April. This theater is doing an adapted version of William Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing. The show is set to take place on the patio behind the Fine Arts Building beginning Friday, April 23rd at 5 in the evening. Performances will also take place on Saturday, April 24th and Sunday, April 25th at 3 in the afternoon. Students and other viewers will be allowed to attend the event and are encouraged to come out and support their fellow Hilltoppers. Due to social distancing practices, seating will be limited to 75 seats per performance. Ticket costs are $12.50 for the general public, $10 for seniors, $8 for students not enrolled at WLU, and $5 for current WLU students. with valid student ID ticket. Tickets can only be purchased with cash or check and can be reserved by contacting the WLU Theater Chair, Michael Alec. Tickets will also be available for purchase at the door of the Fine Arts Building in the box office the day of the performance.
On Wednesday, April 21st, West Liberty University will be celebrating Constitution Day on campus with Dr. Brian Fitzpatrick as the host of the event. Fitzpatrick is the Assistant Professor of Political Science. He is hosting a Zoom meeting where he and fellow WLU professors will be debating each other on free speech. This event typically occurs in September, but due to the pandemic, it will be occurring this spring. The Zoom meeting begins at 12 p.m. and will end at 1 p.m. All WLU students, faculty, and staff are encouraged to attend the meeting. There is a pre-registration for the meeting, so you can email Fitzpatrick or Kate Billings for the Zoom link. There is no cost involved. Join the meeting and witness a friendly debate in observance of Constitution Day. You don't want to miss it. That will do it for campus and local news. Stay tuned to hear about the WLU softball team. We'll be right back after this break.
Parking at West Liberty can be a hassle. Here are some tips to help you park safely and correctly on campus. First, always display your parking tag. Make sure to park in the correct parking lot. Follow the marked direction of travel. Don't park in visitor parking during the day. Don't park in no parking zones. Don't park in handicap parking. Never park in front of this door. Follow these tips and you'll never have parking problems or tickets again. This message is brought to you by West Liberty University.
Hey, whoa, hey man, what are you doing? Hey man, what are you doing? I don't think you're split to drive.
Nah, man, it's all good. My house is like just 20 seconds up that street.
It doesn't matter, it's still not a good idea. I don't think you're fit to drive.
Dude, we've been friends for like 10 years, man. Can't you trust me?
That doesn't matter here. I do trust you, but I don't think you're fit to drive.
Well then, just shut up. Shut up! I can totally drive myself a mile up to my house.
Fine then, if that's what you want to do, so be it. What the?
Every day in America, another 28 people die as a result of drunk driving crashes. Don't be the next victim.
Welcome back to Newsline 14. Here's Joel Porter with your sports update.
It is very rare to see some sports records broken, but for one NHL forward, the moment has arrived. A moment 24 years in the making. Patrick Marleau, a current forward for the San Jose Sharks, has broke one of the most distinguished records achievable: most games played by a player. The previous record was held by NHL great Gordie Howe, who played from 1946 to 1980. Accumulating 1,767 games. Marleau tied Howe for this milestone on April 17th as he played his 1,767th game. He officially broke the record on Monday night, reaching 1,768 games played. Despite playing for this long, he has never won a Stanley Cup. Marleau intends to continue playing after this season in hopes of winning the Stanley Cup before his retirement. The Wheeling Nailers were back in action this week as they hit the ice for a 2-road and 1 home game series. The Nailers are coming into this week hot as they have clinched at least 1 point in each of their last 6 games, an all-time high on the season. Unfortunately, the streak came to an end as former Nailer Brandon Hawkins netted a hat trick which led the Nailers to fall to the Fort Wayne Comets by a score of 6-2 on Friday. Saturday's game against the Indy Fuel did not happen, as ironically the conditions on the ice in Indianapolis were not safe. This is the 3rd game that the Nailers have lost in their season due to unplayable ice conditions. The Nailers took on the Fort Wayne Comets on Sunday afternoon at West Banco Arena, looking to avenge their 6-2 loss. Nailers did just that as they defeated the Comets by a score of 5-3. Now let's take a closer look at our softball team as Ian Phillips talked with head coach Herb Minch about their 500th win and how he still has big goals for the remainder of the season.
Milestones are set to be reached. Coach Minch hit his milestone with 500 wins during his time as a topper coach here at West Liberty. Coach Minch, coming off his 500th career win against Concord last weekend, has his team rolling this season and hopes to continue their form. Your milestone, 500 wins. What's that mean to you as a coach?
It means a lot. Never thought about it, never knew it happened really until they brought it to my attention the other day. But it's significant because it makes you sit back and realize, wow, you've been doing this for a while and had some pretty good success and really enjoy doing it more now than I ever did in the past.
End of the season wrapping up here. What are you trying to do with the team?
Well, like in 2019, we made a pretty good run down the stretch, and we started heating up again here in the last 2 weeks. So hopefully we can do that again. And
if everyone comes together and does what needs to be done to get those goals.
I definitely see another MEC championship in our hands. I also would like to see us go on to regionals, super regionals, and even the World Series. Nothing is out of reach for us right now. If we all come together, then I think that we really can make some good things happen.
The Lady Hilltoppers softball team look to go into the postseason in winning form as the season comes to a close. As the season comes to a close, the Lady Hilltoppers softball team look to make the NCAA tournament as Coach Minch and the team like to continue their run in the winning form. I'm Ian Phillips here on Newsline 14, reporting outside the softball field here on West Liberty's campus.
The West Liberty softball team looked to add onto their impressive 10-game winning streak against David Elkins College and West Virginia Wesleyan College over the weekend. In the first game, the West Liberty softball team picked up win number 11 with a 2-0 win over Davis and Elkins. In Game 2, the Hilltoppers made it 12 straight wins with another 2-0 victory. The West Liberty softball team then saw their winning streak snapped on Sunday as West Virginia Wesleyan defeated the Hilltoppers in Game 1 by the score of 5-2. In Game 2, the Hilltoppers dropped another close one by a score of 7-5. The West Liberty softball team was back in action yesterday afternoon against Wheeling University on the Hilltop as they walked away with a pair of wins. The score of the Game 1 was West Liberty 3, Wheeling 0. The second game was much closer, with West Liberty scoring 4 while Wheeling scores 3. The Topper softball team will take on Fairmont State Saturday in another Mountain East doubleheader. The West Liberty men's soccer team took on Frostburg State last Friday at home. This would be the 4th win of the season for the Toppers, with the score being West Liberty 5 and Frostburg 0. This would be a record-breaking day for West Liberty by scoring the most amount of goals in the program's history. It was also the biggest win by margin and most goals scored in a half. Junior Josh Yeeman had yet another impressive day as he scored the first points of the match for the Toppers early in the first half. West Liberty came out hot as they scored 90 seconds into the second half, with junior Bernardo Vilches scoring back-to-back goals, with both being off volleys. Freshman Daniel Rivera and Danilo Tavares also ended up scoring on the night. The Toppers will be playing in the MEC tournament today to end the season. Welcome to this week's edition of Hilltopper Highlights. This week highlights 2 record breakers from the Hilltopper women's track and field team. On Saturday, April 17th, the Toppers made their way to Charleston, West Virginia for the UC Invitational, where junior thrower Kelsey Hewlett shattered her previous best discus throw of 147 feet 8 inches by over 6 feet. Not only does this beat her personal best, but it also breaks the school record and is the longest throw in the region for this season and has made the top 20 in the entire nation. This score is 154 feet 6 inches. Moving on to sophomore Hannah Kemp, coming into the season off of a stellar cross-country season, which won her the MEC's Cross Country Runner of the Year award, shattered the school record in the 10,000-meter run with a time of 37 minutes and 19 seconds. This time beat the previous school record holder, Sherry Borsos' record by nearly a full minute, and is currently the MEC's best time of the spring. Along with these 2 record-breaking West Liberty athletes, the Topper's own Aubrey Story was close to a record-breaking score that won her the high jump with a height of 5 feet 3 inches, just 1 inch short of a school record, but currently is number 1 in the MEC. Emily Luke brought home 3rd place for the toppers in the 800 meters with the 3rd fastest time in the conference, while Mackenzie Ryan took home 4th in the pole vault at 2.62 meters. The Hilltoppers women's track and field team took home an overall 3rd place at the Invitational as they fought through some tough competition. The Hilltopper women's track and field team hit the road again Friday, April 23rd to West Virginia Wesleyan College, where they hope to continue to succeed. And that will do it for this week's edition of Hilltopper Highlights.
We'll be right back. Local and national weather with Ian Phillips is coming up next on Newsline 14.
Do you need to work on projects because a deadline is right around the corner? Then get into the Fine Arts Building. The Fine Arts Building hosts a myriad of amenities such as computer, painting, printer, couch, lights, no lights, audio including this voiceover, instrumenting, table, more computers, so many computers, the theater, printmaking, creating and animating in 3D, drawing still life, chairs, broadcast operation and execution, and it's open almost all the time. Come in early, come in late. Don't come in at all if you want a bad grade. If you need stuff done, visit the Fine Arts Building. Fab is in its name.
"37% of 20 to 39-year-olds reported short sleep duration. This could be due to late-night distractions or an active mind. Being deprived of sleep can have an effect on your academic performance and can make you fall behind. So set a schedule and stick to it. You need sleep.
Welcome back to Newsline 14. Here's Ian Phillips with the weather update.
April showers bring May flowers. Well, what about snow across the Ohio Valley? Today on the hilltop, we are experiencing unlikable temperatures sitting at 37 degrees. The high for today on the hilltop is 43, with the low sitting at 28 degrees. This evening looks gray, just like the rest of the day, with the temperatures going to be around 35. That will do it for your campus weather update. Now let us take a look around the country and see what is happening with the weather elsewhere. Out in the west, in California, the city of Angels, Los Angeles, is sitting at 63 degrees and cloudy. Moving east to Denver, Colorado, with the temperature sitting at a chilly 35 degrees in the Mile High City. Now taking a look down south to Texas, the temperature sits at 56 degrees with the sun shining. Moving up north to the Windy City, we have Chicago, Illinois, is in a freeze warning, with temperatures sitting at 45 degrees. Once back, moving down south in Florida, it is perfect, with temperatures sitting at 83 degrees in the Sunshine State. And finally, moving back up north to the Ohio Valley, we are sitting at 38 degrees. And concluding a look at weather across the United States, the Big Apple, New York, is doing better than us with temperatures sitting at 63 degrees. And that will do it for this edition on campus weather and national weather here on Newsline 14.
We'll be right back. The 5-day forecast is coming up next.
An exciting yet stressful time for students. It's great to know you can bring all your knowledge to college. There's one thing you should know before you leave that some people forget. Microwave safety is something everyone should know. Remember to read instructions carefully and watch the microwave in order to avoid any disasters.
Welcome back to Newsline 14. Here's Ian Phillips with the 5-day forecast.
Wrapping up your weather updates here on Newsline 14, let us take a closer look at our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, the high is 46 and the low is 32, with the day being an overcast. Friday looks to be a little bit warmer with a high of 57 degrees and low of 37. For the weekend, Saturday, we will have the high of 63 degrees and a low of 45 degrees with 80% chance of rain. Sunday will be a little bit nicer with temperatures at highs of 55 degrees and lows of 34. Finally, on Monday, it will be the best day of our 5-day forecast with a high of 63 and a low of 45 degrees with the sun out, which will be a great way to start off our week. And that will do it for this edition of your 5-day forecast and complete weather update. I'm Ian Phillips with the weather for Newsline 14.
Thank you for watching this edition of Newsline 14. I'm Aaron Warner.
And I'm DeJuan Jones. Have a great week.